So, interesting news feed today. Wait, am I coming through properly?
Yeah, we got you. Morvis was hot micing, but we got you.
Ah, cool. Cheers. So, apparently, they're rewriting the first law of thermodynamics.
Really?
Yeah, because at the moment they say that doesn't really cover systems not in equilibrium. So they're reworking it. Cover some, I don't know, some stuff that they don't think it applies to, or something like that. I don't know. I read these articles and I try and absorb what I can, and it was pretty vague anyway. It didn't really go into too much detail. I can post it if you like.
Yeah, post it. I'll have a read.
All right.
Unlike the Globers, we flat earthers like to stay up to date with their latest lore.
There we go. From none other than Popular Mechanics. Actually, when you finish reading it, scroll down to the bottom and look at the bio and the author. I thought that was funny.
All right, thanks.
Hello? Hello?
Yo, what up?
Yeah, I was just wondering, I actually just checked with my, fourth grade science teacher, and he's telling me that the earth is not flat and that it's actually round.
Oh, must be true then.
You should ask your fourth grade teacher who told him. And
What credentials you hold to think you're more right than my fourth grade science teacher?
no, I'm wondering who gave your fourth grade science teacher the evidence for a round Earth.
Do you understand the states actually require essentially in order to become a teacher, there's a set of criteria that's required. What criteria have you gone through to vet and legitimize your research and claims?
I did test myself. Would you like to hear the method how we can measure if the Earth is flat or round?
Yeah, please tell me so.
Okay, that's easy. Give me a second here. I'm going to post a picture and I'm going to ask you one question about it. All right, I hope you can still hear me. I'm going to move to the chat and we're going to post a little picture there and I'm going to ask you a question about it. So you've seen pictures of the Earth from space, right? You've seen the blue marble maybe? NASA has sent out a few of them.
I've seen many pictures from space.
Yeah, have you seen the Earth? It looks like a round ball with some land and some other stuff, right? Did you notice the chat? I pasted something there. Does it look something like that?
Which one are you talking about in the chat? There's a lot of images.
13 minutes past the hour, plain and truth. I posted it. It's like the second from last. It's the newest picture.
Yeah, I mean, the Earth is basically a ball. You could consider it kind of like a bounce ball.
It kind of looks like that in the picture, right? The pictures you have seen before. Am I correct?
Yes.
Right. And you notice something funny about that. You notice all the blue stuff? What is that?
That's water.
Exactly. And there's something peculiar about that water. You notice how it curves around the ball?
Yes, I do.
That's funny, right? I mean, it is, right? So, and they have told us the size. Do you know the size? The radius of the Earth?
I don't know the size, but what I can tell you is that there's this thing called gravity that keeps the water.
Yeah, I grant you gravity. Gravity
on
is
the ground.
Right. Gravity is what bends the water around the ball. I'll grant it to you. I mean, we agree. Sure, it's gravity. Let's just say it's gravity for this discussion. So gravity bends the water around the ball. But I was asking if you knew the radius, perhaps the claimed radius of.
I'd have to ask my science teacher.
It's all right. In the picture I posted, it actually says it right there. It's 3,959 miles. That is the claimed radius. You with me?
Yeah, I'm following you.
Okay, good, good. So when we know the radius, we can do some simple math to figure out how much that ball, the water that curves around it, how much it has to curve per mile, right? So there is a nice little diagram there that tells you how much it needs to curve um, when we look at the ball, right? So for example, 10 miles there, if you take a laser, you find yourself a lake that's 10 mile on that ball that you live on, right? You go to that lake, you put the laser up 1 foot over the water on one beach, and you shoot it to the other beach. If it's a ball, that laser must end up 66 foot in the air. But guess what? The problem is that it ends up 1 foot over water on the other side as well. So that means that the water is not curving. And since the ball, they say that the Earth is covered by 71% water. If all that water is flat, it can't be a ball. Do you understand the logic here?
Yeah, well, there's one kind of issue here with this thought process.
What is that?
So think about this for a second. I have a cup of water,
Mm-hmm.
or let's just say a bowl of water. Because if you think about it, like I have a bowl of water and I shake it around. It's not given that the water is truly going to be perfectly flat. So just
No.
like Earth, like the topology is not perfectly flat. You can't assume the water to be perfectly flat. If that makes any sense, like it's never going to be perfect because it's water. It moves around.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfectly flat, but it's generally, if the ball has a radius of 3959 miles, even if, let's say that this test was just done in a place where the lake is perfectly flat because, the Earth is flat right there, but then it's round in some other places. The problem is we've done thousands of tests over different kinds of waters, right? So it has to be a ball at some of those lakes, at least, right? So look, you can take a friend with you and go outside. Go to a lake that's 10 mile wide. Bring a good zoom camera. Put him on the beach on the opposite side. If you can zoom in and see him, there is no 66-foot curve. That's a 6-story high building that should be covering him. So unless your friend is 66 foot tall, you should not be able to see him. So that's a problem for the ball, right? I mean, water is flat. Look, you don't have to believe me. I'm going to paste a laser test that some guys did over 21 miles. And over 21 miles, it gets even worse. Then you have a 260-foot curvature missing, right? Because the laser in that example, they shot it 5 foot over the water. And on the other side, 21 miles away, it ended up 5 foot over the water there as well.
I mean, this
So,
almost feels like, like a tobacco company being like, cigarettes don't cause cancer because I know somebody that
no,
didn't have cancer
yeah.
that
No,
smoked cigarettes. But in this case, you're nitpicking data, and essentially
no, I'm
you're
showing you
taking
one
the data that
example.
supports your case, and then
Yeah.
anything that would not support your case, I think that you guys would
No,
probably just trash it and maybe trash the human being that
no, listen,
came up with this data.
You can go out and see if you can find someone who has done a laser test and they showed curve if you want to, right? But there are thousands of tests like this. And the thing is, even if you say you don't believe this, or maybe they faked it, the laser did actually show up 260 foot in the air. That's a 20 storage building, right? But let's say that they faked it. Okay, so what? Now you have a method to try it out yourself, and you can do that easily. But you're never going to find anybody who has done a test and they said, "Oh yeah, we measured those 266 foot of curvature." So it's up to you. I can't convince you. You can only convince yourself. And now you've been presented with the method how to do it. You don't even need to buy a laser. You can just get a couple of mirrors and see if you can
No,
mirror flash your
I,
friend.
I got you actually. So I'm just wondering about this video here that I see
Mm-hmm.
here on this short video.
Oh, is that the let me guess. Is it behind the curve?
Yes.
Oh, that's
Do you think these people are just lying and
that's a Netflix mockumentary. Did you know that? They made all that shit up. They took different tests, and
why'd
then
you call it a mockumentary?
yeah, it's a mockumentary by Netflix. They wanted to
What's a
mock flat earthers, right? So they did a bunch of tests. Did you know that? And then they took the one that failed, and then they clipped in an interesting from another scene at the end of it. We have
Okay,
email.
you are absolutely
We have
absurd. I'm
emails.
just
We
gonna
have
say it.
emails. We have email conversations from Netflix where they admit that they did this. There was a weed or something in the way. And besides, even if we grant you the test, if you look into it, they didn't even use a laser. They used a torch, a flashlight. The whole thing was just flawed. You thought it was a laser, right? But it wasn't. Just a stupid flashlight. So I wouldn't listen to Netflix mockumentaries. That's just stupid.
You know, I think you're a little biased against data that doesn't support your claims, which aren't commonly agreed upon by the majority of the people that are educated in America.
I'm biased against documentaries which only shows one side, right? They show the side they want to show. You can see a documentary that says that Michael Jackson is a PDF file, right? And then there's another documentary that says he is not. And both of them are going to be convincing. So I wouldn't watch Netflix documentaries about flat Earth. I would just go out and do the test myself, like I have done. I've done this myself, me and my brother. So you can do it too. You don't have to believe me.
Doesn't it seem extremely dangerous to shoot a laser that could blind you?
Yeah, don't look into it, whatever you do. But you can take a couple of mirrors and just do mirror flashes over 10 miles, you and your friend. You don't have to use the laser.
Have you ever thought that like maybe I just
Look,
like asked if you were throwing out claims on the opposing side and you said no, and then like this Netflix documentary you just basically said it was fake, so you did throw it out. So I'm getting a little bit of a conflicting information here that makes it hard to trust.
well, the
Like I'm
thing is,
trying to be open here, but I'm a
right.
little bit skeptical right now.
Have you ever seen a documentary that in the end it turned out that it was just a lie and they just presented their version of the story? Isn't that what documentaries are? They show one side and that's it. I mean, do you believe everything you see on TV, on Netflix, on the news, maybe?
Exactly. Exactly. You should be skeptical, and you should be just as skeptical of this so-called documentary you've appealed to as what we say.
And you can be skeptical about the 21-mile no curvature test that I posted. You should be, absolutely. But go out and do it yourself. See if you can replicate it.
Dude, I'm not gonna go spend a bunch of money.
Well, a couple of mirrors are basically free.
I'm not sure if you're aware, but I actually live in Florida, and we have one of the largest bodies of water in the United States with some of the flattest land in the United States.
Yeah, I'm aware. And it
Have
shouldn't
you
be that
guys
flat.
selectively only gone to certain lakes for these results, or have you gone to a variety of bodies of water?
The physics of water is not going to change, bro. It's going to apply to any body of water.
Excellent. So then I can assume that you've gone to multiple and not just the same place
Right.
because
No, I did my test in
there's
Denmark.
land that's not truly flat. And like you understand that even though the earth is like round and it is a perfect sphere, you do understand that like the land's height is not evenly round across it because there's this thing called terrain that sits on the earth.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
called.
sure if you're aware of that.
No,
Are you aware of water? There's a
topography.
gravity gradient on the globe, okay? Are you aware of that?
Yeah.
Okay, then. So why are you trying to make this about the terrain?
Because I just explained, let me explain something to you.
We understand the terrain.
There could
Listen, you're
be
talking to people
things
that
under.
understand geodetic surveying, okay? So we understand completely. What you don't seem to understand is how the gravity gradient is affecting water on a claimed globe. And that's what T-Dub and others have been trying to explain to you.
Also, it's why we do the measurements over water is so we don't have to deal with the topography. You understand that on your flat desk, you can have a desk light, you can have, a cable and a couple of pens. Those are topography. It doesn't make the desk less flat. You understand that, right?
So, like, if you know this information
Yeah.
and you believe it to be true, like, why aren't you out there doing something about the government spending billions of dollars a year, supposedly on NASA, which must be fake if the Earth isn't round? Like, I assume you don't believe NASA's real either. Like they're just like some like government agencies blowing money, funneling money or something. Like you don't
I'm,
believe? Do you? I
I'm
assume you don't believe somebody's ever landed on the moon. Now, do you?
absolutely not. Look, I am in here, and if people come in, I use my own valuable time to sit here and for free tell them a method that they can check for themselves. That's what I'm doing.
I mean, like, it's easy to, like say something, but it's like not really a realistic approach to, oh, hey, just go like buy a laser or some mirrors and get a friend. And there's a lot of things you're asking for that, like, what I'm trying to understand is why. Can you
If you're not
explain
interested, you're not
went
interested.
wrong? What went wrong with the Netflix mockumentary? Like, tell me, how did they cheat the system to prove that Earth was actually round? Like, can you explain that one to me?
Yeah, I could explain it quickly. So they
Yeah, like,
didn't
was
do
it a
any.
flawed study?
Yeah, they didn't. No, it was a really poorly done mockumentary. Okay, it didn't. If like I don't know which part specifically you're talking out of, but if you're talking about the light test that Jaren did, which was towards the end of the documentary, where he shone a flashlight over a certain distance, apparently through some cardboard cutout holes. And the guy shouldn't have been able to see the light, and then he lifted the light up, and then he saw the light. I don't know if that's what you're referring to, like which bit out of the documentary, because there's nothing in the documentary that debunks flat Earth or proves the globe or anything like that. It's pretty poorly done. Like, do you have any questions about it specifically? Because
I'd
I
like
know
to
I know a
watch it
bit
with
about
you
it.
and let's debunk this together. Let's watch
Dude,
the documentary.
it's kind of like funny to watch. I mean, it's all it does. It's like just showing close-ups of the guy's face and just trying to make him look stupid, which he is kind of stupid. He's not like a flat earther that many people are a big fan of.
I mean, I work
Like
in tech company
they
and
handpicked some stoner, right, and made him look stupid.
I mean,
But look, he was supposed to shoot a laser, okay? And the idiot, he left on the laser and broke the laser. And because they already had it all set up, they decided, oh, we've got a flashlight. Let's just try to do it with a flashlight. They did it at nighttime. It doesn't show the distances. It doesn't show the observer height. It doesn't show any measurements. It just shows 52 seconds worth of footage, which is mostly close-ups of the guy's face looking dopey, because mockery is the main tactic there. And it really doesn't prove anything either way. And from what I hear from people that were on the set on both sides, is they kind of just walked away from that saying, oh, that was a big mess. It didn't prove anything either way. But then the way they edited the documentary towards the end, it made it look like the way it looked. And then there was a big lawsuit after because they'd promised the flat earthers beforehand that they were going to hand over all of the complete footage, unedited footage. And then after it was finished, they edited it in a way that, was misleading. And then they refused to hand over the footage. Then there was a big court case about it, which is still ongoing. But unfortunately, one of the
Didn't they splice scenes out of order in order to give the impression that they walked away thinking that they had measured curvature of the Earth?
Yeah, they did. Like when he said interesting at the end, that he had said that 4 hours earlier, according to him, and they just kind of spliced it together. And I mean, if you rewatch it with just thinking skeptically about it, the way as a deception, you'll notice what they're doing. I mean, it's not something that's a substantial something that would. I mean, if I was a globe earther, I wouldn't be using that as look at this, flat earthers, you debunked flat Earth. Even Fight the Flat Earth, right? There's a guy called Craig, has a shit ton of subscribers, and he makes a living trying to debunk flat. Even he made a video saying it was completely dishonest and globe earthers shouldn't use that. It was, edited in a way that was misleading.
I posted the emails, and letters from Netflix to Jaron in the chat. If you want to look at them, Matthew, you can see the whole conversation, how they misrepresented it.
So can you explain? We were talking about water as being the perfect case here. So why, when ships are sailing away, do we lose the hull? Like it disappears before the mast. Can you explain that one to me? If Earth isn't curved, like I'm not understanding.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so most of the time, I can see why they might have thought that back in the day. Growing up on the east coast of Australia myself, at a cruise ship hub right on the Gold Coast, I used to watch them go out all the time. And what happens most of the time is they get smaller and smaller and smaller. Now, once something gets below a certain degree in your vision, which is 0.02 degrees, it breaches the angular resolution limit of the human eye. So you can't see it anymore, even though it's still there, because it's too small. It doesn't disappear bottom, like hull up, most of the time. It will occasionally if you've got like large ocean swells, for example, or if you have a rarer type of miraging effect, which can happen sometimes as well, called an inferior mirage. Okay, that can happen sometimes, but most of the time, and we've got countless videos we could show you right now, is that a ship, you can't see it, but you can still see the horizon, because the horizon's giant, right? But the ship gets smaller and smaller and smaller due to perspective, and then you can zoom in and you can see the whole ship again. Okay.
No, but I just want to clarify a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
go ahead.
But the fact here is that you can see the mast, but you cannot see the hull. Do you understand what a mast and a hull is? Like, just wondering.
I understand.
Crying out loud, dude.
Okay, look in the side chat. Plain Truth just posted one. Okay, when he zoomed out, you cannot see the boat at all. Okay, when he zooms in, you can see the whole boat again. Now, let's reverse engineer this. Let's say that boat that he's zooming in on is close to him at the shoreline, and he doesn't have the zoom camera. Okay, and then the boat just sails away. It goes away, away, away. It gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and it looks like it's disappearing. And then you can't see it anymore. And now he pulls out this amazing zoom technology, which we have access to now, and he can zoom in and see the entire boat again. Okay, now if you added into the equation a mirage like sinking refraction, or inferior mirage, which literally is defined as something appearing like it disappears from the bottom, even though it's not actually hidden behind anything, or ocean swells, that could happen. And we can replicate that on a small scale as well to show that it's just an optical effect due to the atmosphere and temperature conditions or physical obstruction being ocean swells. But we've got countless amounts of examples. We can show this. These are like old arguments that have been debunked a long time ago.
Does he know what ocean swells are and how in the foreground they could obstruct holes in the deep background?
Matthew, there is a simple example you can do by yourself. You find a good sized skyscraper, right? If you stand close to it and you walk backwards, as you walk away, eventually the bottom of the scrape is going to be impossible for you to resolve, but you will still see the top of it. That's just how our vision works. It's called angular resolution. DJ talked about it before. This is on a flat surface, so you can replicate it on a flat surface, obviously.
Oh my gosh, ridiculous. Okay, well,
Yeah,
what do you think about the moon? Let me just guess, is the moon actually someone's cheeks?
No, bro. Okay, the moon is in the sky. We're talking about the surface of the Earth. Now, what was ridiculous about what was just explained to you? Because we can back everything we're saying up with real-world demonstrations.
I'm just trying to get three concepts here through your head, and if you can understand that maybe one of them you can disagree with, but there's three of them. Like, okay, there's too much evidence. I need to just admit that the Earth is round, and I'm wasting my time lying to people. So you believe in the moon or not? Like, you think the moon is just like
Bro, you won't be educating anyone.
Everyone
get it through your head. You're not educating anyone.
Yeah, look, every single flat earther in this channel knows 100 times more than you will know about the globe. I bet I could ask you basic questions.
I mean, you don't know the most basic thing if you think the globe is flat, because it's a globe. It's not.
No,
flat.
We're showing you empirical evidence. You just believe it's a globe because that's what you were taught throughout your life.
Tell me about lunar eclipses. How do those happen?
Just one thing
bro.
to the next. Like
Yeah,
you're
you're just
leaving
gish galloping.
everything unresolved before moving on.
Okay, y'all are attacking me now instead of
No,
attacking
well,
the
let
actual
DJ
facts
take
You're being
here.
an
DJ
arrogant,
have
bro.
it.
Explain
You're
to
being
me lunar eclipses and how they explain to me
Yeah,
they
we're
that the
gonna
Earth
we're gonna have to
cracks.
talk about projected geometry, which I don't think you're prepared to do, which is a much more difficult topic than everything else that you've gish galloped to.
Whatever, dude. Y'all are crazy. I'm out.
yeah.
All right, bye,
Have a good
Come
day, man.
on, stay a little bit.
Dick.
Listen to DJ when he explains lunar eclipses to you. How about that?
Come on, man. Just stay a little bit.
Look, people come in here, Matthew, and they think that they come walking into a room of idiots because they've seen a bunch of propaganda about flat Earth, and they have a bunch of presuppositions in their head about things we claim that we don't actually claim. Right? And they think they know a bunch more than they actually know about the globe, and then they walk in here and then they start engaging in a debate, and they realize, oh wow, these guys actually make good points. They know what they're talking about. They actually seem to know more than I know about the globe. And I don't know any of their actual arguments because all I've been fed is propaganda, like discs in space and things like that, which we don't claim.
I mean, like the fact that you're sitting around, if you think the government is literally burning like literally a large sum of their budget every year on faking space, blows my mind. Like you're sitting here on a Discord call. I'd be like raiding the Capitol if that was
You
actually.
would? Really?
I mean,
Funny because none
yeah,
of
if
us are
there's
bringing that
a.
up, but you.
Well, I'm just saying that, like, like I think you're taking like a little passive approach if we're like the entire thing of Earth's physics is a lie. Like, I mean, I think someone's got to be corrected here. Like, how could you allow such fraud to occur? As a human being, like, how can you not stop that?
Okay,
Like,
what should I do? I'm an Australian that's currently in Poland. You're talking about the U.S. government. What should I do right now? Should I
does Australia not have a
grab a
space
kitchen?
program as well, burning money?
I not that I'm aware of. I mean, I'm not sure. I don't live in Australia. Anyway, like, what do you want me to do? Go and raid like the Australian space program? What should I do? What's my first step?
I mean,
Buy some camo
Australia
gear, like a
has
balaclava or something like that.
Australia has ASA, the Australian Space Agency, which is set to triple in size from 2018 to 2030. So, I mean, like,
Alright.
don't you think
What would you
protecting the
do
money-
if you were in my boots? What would you do? Would you go and
I'd be raiding.
get a flight back to Australia?
I'd be
and go-
petitioning legislators peacefully until
Okay.
the time came that there's no other options to exhaust.
Uh-huh. Great plan.
Yeah, why did you
So
invite them in?
there are people doing that. Okay, maybe not in other countries, but in the United States, people are getting their 2 minutes on the podium to speak to their local or state representatives and expressing their fears and concerns about the fraudulent activity that is going on within the government involving NASA and other agencies. Okay, so that is being done. There's not much else that they can do.
I think my main concern here is just like that, like you're acting like it's hopeless and like
No, we're not. We're sharing the information with as many people as we can.
yeah, you probably convinced 10 people in a year. Like, so
No, probably just in the last few weeks, actually.
like
You should listen to some of our conversations. By the end of the conversation, people are like, "Oh my god, I can't believe that you guys are making so much sense. This is crazy. Can you give me some more information about this?" And
if it's also fake,
happens all the time.
why don't we send up somebody that goes to space and send one of you all up and see what happens to them? Like what are you gonna say if they come back and they're like, okay, I saw it myself? Do you think they drugged them out or something?
No, bro, you need to look up what the Outer Space Treaty is. and the rules and regulations behind it, it's actually illegal for an amateur to go above a certain height and to film above a certain height. No, that's why no one's ever done it. No one's ever launched a satellite or a rocket above a certain height because you're legally not allowed to do it. You can get in a huge amount of trouble.
Yeah, I'm saying, why don't you, like, if you're so set on this being true, like, there's companies out there that can get you into space for, Katy Perry went to space.
No, that's just going 62 miles up in the air on a vomit comet, essentially. Okay, that's not even high enough to see the curvature of the Earth if it existed. Like
Okay.
mathematically, yeah, there was an astronaut that also went up on that named Wally Funk. She did an interview with Fox afterward, which we can share with you if you want. And she said she was disappointed that she didn't get to see the curvature of the Earth because they didn't go high enough. Even Neil deGrasse Tyson, who hates flat earthers, that astrophysicist, he did numerous interviews saying, look, it's media, it's misleading, it's not even high enough to see the curvature of the Earth. I've done the calculations and it's not high enough. We had William Shatner go up there as well. He said he saw no evidence that the Earth's a globe from that height. And mathematically, you wouldn't see curvature from that height anyway. You only have a certain percentage of the surface of the Earth that you can even see from that height. This doesn't prove anything. That's as high as we can get to as well, without just blind faith trusting in some Apollo astronauts 50 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I almost find this hysterical that you guys are like little conspiracy theorists. I'm not sure if you're aware of. You ever heard of Stranger Things before?
Dude, no, we're not conspiracy theorists in here. Like, none of us brought up a single conspiracy theory with you.
I mean, literally, the Earth being flat and like the government having an agency that's just lying to people is like absolutely.
I don't think. I think they believe it's a globe, and they fucked up.
I mean, do you understand that the Earth is round?
You're projecting.
And
Yeah, you're projecting. We understand that because of the implications involved with the evidence being presented to you, right? You're coming to the natural conclusion based on your faith and the stock and value you put in these agencies and certain authorities, said authorities, that there must be a conspiracy. There must be somebody lying because you've been shown imagery and stories about people going into outer space. They saw the Earth as a ball, blah, 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 blah. Right? We get that. But you've got to examine the evidence first. You've got to
yeah, but
really
have you
seriously sit down and
seen
look
Stranger
at
Things
it.
before? And can I just give a little example? Have you heard of the conformity gate with Stranger Things? They released 5 seasons. The last season has 9 episodes or 8 episodes or whatever it is. Well, everyone's like, "Oh, there's another episode coming," and it was like most clearly there was not. But there's 1,000 things to show that there was not going to be another episode. And then there's these crazy conspiracy theorist people that, oh, look at the clock of the scene of this and that and all this nonsense. And yeah, okay, maybe the stuff like if you just look at it kind of makes sense. Well, guess what? There's not an extra episode. And guess what? The earth is not flat, it is round. I'm sorry to tell you that.
Yeah, okay, so we have empirical evidence to back up our claims. What do you have besides faith that it's a globe? Right? We're not pointing at clocks and making up conspiracy theories. We're going out and actually measuring calculating how much curvature there should be over a certain distance and using expensive equipment to test for that curvature. We've had teams of field engineers go out with a $30,000 laser shooting at over 40 kilometers distance where there should be over 400 foot of curvature, hitting the target 5 times in a row. We've had PhDs like Dr. John D go out trying to debunk flat Earth and becoming a flat earther reluctantly during the process because he couldn't find any curvature. Right? We're not mucking around here. This isn't some crazy conspiracy theory. We're confirming what we all experience. Even yourself, even people that think it's a globe still experience the Earth as flat and stationary. You've just been told it's a globe growing up. Most people don't even know anything about the globe. They just believe it blindly.
I wish I could get you help. I really do.
Help with
Hell.
what?
This is a cope, bro. Look, I'm going to post some footage in the side chat right now. Just have a look in the side chat. This is the sort of shit that you're defending right now. You think that this is real footage from NASA, right? This is clearly ridiculously fake looking, and I can't believe that any adult could take this footage seriously. This is Apollo footage. This is NASA claims that this is real footage. Are you going to defend this footage right now and call me crazy?
I mean,
for
I
saying
don't know if
that this
NASA really claims this like you're claiming that.
On their website.
Why wouldn't? Yeah, why wouldn't they? I can find you the original videos that we clipped this from at the Smithsonian Air and Space Museum right now and NASA's official YouTube channel. Why would you doubt this footage? It looks ridiculously fake, doesn't it? You wouldn't have doubted it otherwise.
I can tell
Yeah,
you
I'm
that
I'm
NASA.
the crazy one. You need to get me
Maybe
help.
there's been some lies of NASA, but space in itself is not
okay.
fake.
Okay.
Oh, how did you prove that?
Because they wouldn't be going up every year if it was fake.
People wouldn't lie. Are you saying people don't lie?
Yeah, I'm saying that like
People wouldn't lie, right? People wouldn't lie
not-
about anything. Nobody would lie. Nobody would ever lie to you. Don't forget to space yourself 6 feet apart.
Okay, but nobody like you have to understand one thing. Like this isn't COVID. This is a straight fact. Earth. Like I know this from 4th grade science. You don't get it.
Oh, really?
Okay, let's hear it then.
Oh,
Yeah, tell
I
us
know
about
it from I know it from owning the equipment to do science experiments. How you like that?
Have you ever done geography before?
That's not a science experiment.
Yeah, I'm just trying to like. I just don't feel
Have I ever
that
read a
you.
geography book? Have I ever read a geography book? Yeah, I had to. I had to go to school just like you.
You know, I actually was thinking it might be real, but then I talked to my Swedish friend, and he was like, he explained there's a documentary that proves it's not real, and like
What's
literally,
that one? What
yeah,
documentary
it's
is
the
it?
Netflix one.
Oh no,
Behind
that's
the
not a
Curve.
documentary. That's a
Behind
movie.
the Curve.
Yeah, dude, the Netflix documentary says meet the growing worldwide community of theorists who vehemently defend the Earth as flat inside a society that rejects it. That wasn't a
Brother, I got to tell you one thing and only one thing.
That was a personalization because the issue was that people were dehumanizing flat earthers. So people at Netflix said we have to put a human face to this movement because something bad is going to happen.
No, what you don't get is this, dude. You are too scared to go to space.
What you're not
You're too
getting,
scared.
what you're not getting is right before that Netflix dropped, there was back-to-back bomb threats, like mass shooting threats at the Denver convention. They tried to shut the Denver convention down, and someone posted an anonymous video that he's going to go run a victory royale and pack some Flurman. So people were upset by that. They go, why are these extreme acts of violence being, pushed towards this group of people who are virtually minding their own business? Who would do that? What type of person, what type of broken mind, a fractured, broken mind would commit some of the most heinous acts? For what reason? So he said, let's do a Netflix documentary and humanize this group of people to hopefully defuse this violent political rhetoric being posted online.
I mean,
if you got something other than that from watching that Netflix documentary, you have a very poor comprehension skill. Very poor.
dude, I mean, whatever. You guys go keep believing it. Why don't one of y'all go to space and just get drugged out by the government or whatever you think they do to people that go to spaces?
Space is fake.
So what are these people that go to
space.
space? Are they actually just like in a simulation?
No one goes to space, dude.
No, there's no space to go to, dude. Yeah, well, I don't know what simulation you're thinking of. You think movies are simulations of something that we've never even proven? How can you simulate something we've never been to?
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest. But
no one's
Well,
been
then
to
don't
space.
say that.
No one's been to space for like 50 years, 60 years. Where do you think all these people are going? They're like every day, people just randomly just going to space. It's been
Katy
50.
Perry. He said
Your
Katy
grand,
Perry went. Katy
dude,
Perry.
that was suborbital. That was even lower than Mercury and Gemini went. Like Neil deGrasse Tyson said, if you put that on a globe model the size of a beach ball, it was 2 millimeters off the surface. That's not anywhere near space.
So they interviewed. Oh, sorry, Crit.
No, go ahead. I was going to say, I'll give them the date. The last time anyone claims to have gone to space was they went to the moon December 7th, 1972. 72. That was before the bicentennial.
And they interviewed NASA. They interviewed last thing. Sorry, I'll let you respond to what Chris said after that. They interviewed NASA recently, and they said, "How come NASA doesn't go back to the moon? Right? How come they can't put man on the moon again?" And NASA astronaut Don Pettit was the one doing the interview, and he said, "I'd go back to the moon in a nanosecond, but we destroyed that technology, and it would be a painful process to build it back again."
You do understand that, like, y'all are just a bunch of kooks. I can't help y'all, unfortunately.
Y'all are kooks. Y'all are a bunch of kooks.
Matthew. Well, thanks for the insults.
All right, bye.
All right, have a good day. Thanks for coming by.
Ran.
Goodbye.
I guess he just wants to listen now, which is fine.
No,
but
he wants to leave, is what he said. He's got to go. He can't deal with. We're a bunch of kooks. Y'all are a bunch of kooks.
he wants us.
Is that why he's tripping
wants us
out?
to be the TikTok flat earthers.
Oh no, yeah, that's the wrong group. We're the actual flat earthers.
Yeah, dude, some of those people on TikTok and Facebook, they're globalists. They're like very deeply Christian, and they're making fun of these I love science atheists. They're taking the piss out of you because they know they can get milk to squirt out your nose. What else has been going on today? Anything good?
Geomagnetic storms.
Oh yeah, tell us about that.
Yeah, well, a solar flare weakened Earth's magnetic field, so the story goes, and then an X 1.9 flare blasted us. And what's due to hit, I think, starting tonight, is the beginning of coronal mass ejecta, a gigantic wave of it. So what they're doing is when you take all these factors into consideration, it kind of boils down into like a KP index number, and they're giving it an 8 to 9, which could mean that there is a between 5 to 20% chance of Earth's magnetic field collapsing, which basically means that we're exposed. People are looking at the phi angle of Earth's magnetic field. Whenever BZ1 goes negative, it basically means that a magnetic tunnel has formed between Earth and the sun, and allows for the sun's solar rays to just shoot at us without anything blocking it and protecting it. This is their lore, okay? Yeah, I know some of it pretty well. Now, how this is really happening, I don't know.
Is there any way I can detect any of this?
No.
You have to go to NASA's website.
Oh, I can't build something? All right.
We do have solar electric storms in Orlando, Florida, actually.
Oh yeah,
send us a video of it.
I'm outside right now waiting for some of the aurora activity to pick up here on the East Coast. I'm in Pennsylvania. So far, nothing, but I mean, we've seen it before recently.
I mean, like you can go into Central Florida during the summer, and every day you will see electrical storms. It happens every day in Orlando. You just look up in the sky between like 7 p.m. and 11 p.m. and you will see it every day. I don't know why, but I'm just telling you, you will see it. And guess what? The Earth is round.
Do you know what the word
Round like-
round means? Did you look that up?
Hey, yeah. Also, remember, you can only have those storms. The Earth has to be flat. You can't do that on a ball. You
Yeah, what do
you
you
have to have
think is
you have to have a ground plane for that electricity to work.
and air, which means you're contained, so there's no outer space vacuum.
Nobody was denying electrical storms happen either. I'm not sure how you
Yeah,
got
he
that
didn't know
out.
what we were talking about and just said, actually.
I know, and he talked about like heat lightning.
Everything that the flat earthers say has to be wrong.
Yeah, we're not talking about heat lightning. We're talking about auroral activity. Right
You
now,
need a
Earth
flat
is
Earth for
constantly
that
getting
too.
bombarded with protons.
So what I mean is, there's no way. That's what the lore is, or is that something that we can detect?
You know, I don't know if there are any ground-based detectors that are picking this up. It's all going to be their space-based shit, you know?
So what did you say? Protons are hitting us. So if
Yeah.
I would have to, well, you would just have increased electricity over over a plate, right? Like if you took a reading of just voltage in the air at a certain height off the ground, that would have to increase if you're getting more, wouldn't it?
I think so. Yeah, that it would alter the electrical field gradient that we measure. You know, what is it? How many volts per meter?
I'm trying to think if I got anything. I got my 4-channel scope. I'm trying to think if I have any sensors or anything where I can pick up that voltage or amplify it.
Yeah. So would an abundance of protons cause a voltage drop?
Yes, I don't know.
I don't
Yeah, is it saturating it like rain,
know.
diluting it,
Yeah.
or is it pulling it up to the sky? That's why the aurora lights up.
Oh, there you go. Creating like a chain for it to, yeah.
It's because there's two. It's because there's two plates. Matthew's not going to accept that one. Can't
No,
do that.
definitely
You
not.
can't do that. You can't do that shit on a ball. You have to have a plate system to do that.
I bet he has no clue that there's atmospheric electricity that is a linear and stable gradient. You know, except when there are electrical storms, then weird things happen. Then the hair on your neck can stand up and all that. But yeah, if like electrons are moving up, then they're leaving the bottom plate
Which is
like a vacuum.
which is the opposite of what we think should be happening. It's like they're being recycled. Things
But if
should
they,
go. Things should fall from to negative to the ground.
yeah,
Things should go to ground. Electricity goes to ground. That's the direction it heads. So we shouldn't be having this talk in here. People are going to learn shit, and then they're going to think we're smart.
oh yeah, I don't want to get into this. No way. All right, so I gotta say, looking north, the sky does have like a purple haze to it, just like a really deep royal blue haze.
Okay.
But
Do you have an iPhone?
I do. Good idea. I've
Okay.
actually got my super camera with me, but
I
I'm in a
know,
parking
but
lot.
I know, but I want you to try a trick that we do with our iPhones. So get your iPhone and just you have the newer one.
Yeah, I got it up and I'm holding it up. I'm seeing if I can see it in the viewer.
No, you don't do that. What you do is you take a picture so it takes a long exposure. It'll be on a timer. It'll be like 5, 4. While it's collecting light, you'll see it counting down while it's collecting light, and then it takes a snapshot. There's where you're going to see if it's actually out there. If it's there, turn your camera on and start watching it. Because I
Oh
can
yeah.
just take a picture off my deck and tell you if it's there or not. I can't see it with my eyes until I take a picture. Then you can see the streaks, you can see the ribbons, all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. That's a good idea. I'm at 51.
Nothing.
51 degrees north. Would I be able to see it here?
Yeah, way better than where
Yeah,
I
you
am.
should be able to see it easier, and I can see it piece of cake at 41.
Yeah, go outside, look north.
Yeah, I'll look out the window once.
I don't know if you'll see the lights, but if you got a phone, take a picture where it collects the light. You know, it'll expose it. It just sits there longer, taking a picture. That one is where how you see it. Guy at work was like, he started posting. He's like, yeah, I didn't realize it. I guess he did it on his Android, so it worked for every phone, I guess. But I have an iPhone. I just know how it works on mine. Yeah, that's the light show that says, that's like the big sign that says, walk this way, come this direction. And nobody sees it. Everybody's ignoring that part.
Well, nothing's showing up yet. It might be a bit too early.
Yeah, we got a crystal clear sky, so I'm gonna go out and check. But I won't be long. It's like
Ours
20
don't
degrees.
show up until around 10 o'clock for us. So it's
Yeah.
7 o'clock, like 3 hours from now.
It's 1 a.m. here.
Dude, like
Yeah,
there are pictures coming in from the Swiss Alps where the sky is red,
yeah, you should be able to see it at 1 a.m.
like right now. It's really nice off my back deck if my neighbor's like floodlights aren't turned on.
Is that where you're at?
No, I'm actually out in town right now.
Oh,
I could drive out towards farmland here, be there in about 10 minutes.
I don't think you're going to
But that's
get
only
that
if I
much
start to see
better.
anything.
I don't
Yeah.
think your lighting will change that much. If I can see it, and I have the city of Cleveland under me down below towards the lake, I can see it with no problem. You should be able to see it.
Like the first time this happened, it was hilarious. Like in Florida, people were calling 911 trying to report the rapture and shit.
Sounds about right.
And then
I
they'd
think
be
they're
like,
just
"Oh,
telling people
flat
more.
earther." Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Rather.
No, I was just going to say, I think they're telling people more because our technology allows us to see it with phones and that. So you may as well just tell people where they're at, where to look. We could probably always see it before.
Well, anyway, like that guy earlier is like many folks that come in. They think we're a bunch of weird, crazy conspiracy kooks. They don't realize what 24/7 flat Earth is and what our community does. They're used to seeing the TikTok flat earthers talk about ice walls and land beyond the ice and all kinds of crazy flat Earth sci-fi shit. And we're just like, no, man, we go out and we measure it. We like to understand how people claim to measure the globe too, so we look into that. So we get into discussions about geometry and triangles. surveying methods, cartography, maps, a little bit of physics too. A little bit of philosophy, like the philosophy of mathematics and philosophy of science. Wave optics and EM propagation. Not as exciting as freaking reptilians from beyond the ice wall. We're not like those types. Honestly, I think the gas pressure and Coriolis discussions fucked them up the most.
Can I ask how many years do you plan to stay in this voice call?
This
Use
is
any-
24/7.
Yeah, you could basically use any answer you need for that. You know, just say like 1 year, 5 years, unlimited amount of years. You could say we'll stay here until the overview effect kicks in, or until someone proves the curvature of the Earth, or we'll stay here until you are able to deal with somebody disagreeing with you. So you could be just flip the question back on you. How long will it take to demonstrate curvature of the Earth or rotation?
Wait, it's already been demonstrated. You just
We'll do it again then. Do it right now. Let's do it. Let's see it.
I'm
do it
not a
live.
scientist. It's not my job.
A scientist is a noun for someone who conducts science, which is a verb. You could do this right now. You could be able to repeat the power, the absolute raw power of science is that it's repeatable, measurable, and falsifiable. If you can't repeat it, then no one's done it prior to that. It's unrepeatable, therefore not science. Definition. For it to be science, it must be repeatable. So there's a question then. How long will it take for you to repeat something that you think is repeatable? Crickets. This is what happens when you start playing little silly games and like so you think you got some sort of gotcha question. You end up with egg on your face rather than just thinking it out. Huh.
What are you talking about?
Flat Earth.
Well,
Yep.
kind of
Every
that.
conversation we have is being live streamed and recorded. So it doesn't matter so much to us whether or not we have mass viewership in the moment. What matters is that we're leaving breadcrumbs. We're leaving information to be found in the future by people who listen to these streams. We've been doing this 10 years.
There's people that listen to us.
By the way, as soon as you say, I'm not a scientist, you invalidate any. You've announced that you're incapable of evaluation of the authenticity of any claims that are made, or any evidences that are presented, or their skill level or intelligence level. You've placed yourself lower than them, meaning that you are incapable of appealing to them in any way.
It's almost an admission of a appeal to authority fallacy, or an appeal to credentials fallacy, or both, actually. See, most people, including myself, when they first hear about this, they just assume that some smart people have gone out and measured the Earth curvature a ton of times. It's been done. Someone's done it. They don't know who's done it, or when they've done it, or how they did it, but they just think that someone did do that. The more you look into it, you're going to find that that didn't happen. It's not how the globe became a theory.
Actually, I was attempting to do a long range survey to see if I could see any curvature.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I mean, that's what I did as well. I mean, I saw a bunch of long distance observations, and I went out and did a whole range of tests myself because I lived next to a giant lake in Australia, and I could zoom in across that lake consistently and see the shoreline on the other side of the lake that should have been hidden behind 100 foot of curvature.
Well, yeah, I was trying to do on myself. I just did a test with because it was like a monocular above a monocular on a tripod, made it level. I just wanted to see if I could see the reference point I wanted to use to see if there's
Are you doing it
curvature
over land or are you doing it over water?
over land.
Yeah,
I
so
was
you
told,
need to take the elevation changes into account as well, which you probably already know.
yeah, I was just using my uh coordinates to
Oh yeah, but that's based off yeah, you need to like just say point A is X amount of feet above sea level, and point B will also be X amount of feet above sea level. You need to take that
it
into account.
well, it worked for what I wanted, which was to see if I can even so it's just to make sure I can actually find the mountain. So I put in my coordinates and said, yeah, you need to look like
Yeah,
67 degrees northeast. So I did that, and it was like right there, and it was how it described as like it wasn't like I forgot, it was like some mountain, but yeah. And I was like, okay, I can see it. I know how to find it, so now I can use
cool.
that as a reference point.
Do you know how far away it is from where you were observing?
Like I remember I had it. It was like 20 something miles.
Mm-hmm. Is about
I could,
400 foot of curvature over that distance.
well, I need to take my height into account.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot trickier when you're doing it over terrain.
40 miles.
Did you say 40 miles?
Is how far the mountain is from
Oh,
my
okay. Yeah.
from where I was. So I just want to see like that should be a lot of drop over distance.
Yeah. Like
Uh,
800 foot or something, I'm guessing.
so I'm gonna put like a yardstick or some form of measurement, like 8 feet in front of my camera, and then do some math. I'll figure out that math later, but just to see if the tip of that mountain actually drops the predicted drop. You
Okay,
know what I
well,
mean?
there's 1,066 foot of drop over 40 miles.
Eh, Oh, what is my elevation? I'm about 800 feet above sea level. That's my elevation. I don't know if that matters, but you said I needed it.
Oh yeah, super important.
And I need the elevation of the mountain top, you said?
Yeah, it's going to be kind of difficult. I mean, You need to know your exact elevation, the exact elevation of the mountaintop that you're looking at. Then you're going to have to get your optical device completely horizontal using levels or something like that.
Yeah, I bought a $19 tripod. It has a little leveler built in.
And then you're going to have to do it a bunch of times as well, because you can have different atmospheric effects as well, depending on the temperature
I thought y'all
changes.
didn't believe in refraction.
No, refraction is it's like if you're trying to make a hyper-specific observation and you haven't taken that into account, you can't use that as evidence.
Refraction actually does that.
Yeah, atmospheric refraction, yeah, of course.
Oh,
I mean,
I
it's
was
probably
told by
not the
someone else
best.
that
It's
it was
probably not the best choice of terminology, like atmospherical gas, right? It's kind of silly, but yeah, sure. The deviation of light in a single medium due to the changing in the optical density of the medium, and the light will deviate towards the denser portion of the medium, which would be the cooler air. Yeah, refraction is the biggest nightmare for the globe. For example, it could make something look like it's hidden behind the horizon partially. Okay, that would be called sinking refraction. Like if you went to Google right now and you type in what is sinking refraction, it's going to say it's a refraction effect where something that would normally be completely visible looks like it's obstructed behind the horizon, even though it's physically unobstructed. It's just an apparent obstruction. It's not really actually obstructed at all. And that happens when you have warmer air lower and cooler air higher, and the light will deviate upward towards the optically denser portion of the medium, and it will displace the object in the distance downward. It's called sinking. It's a form of inferior mirage. Quite often when you're looking over mountains, the warm air gathers down lower in the gullies and that kind of thing. So could definitely be something, right? If you wanted to make a hyper-specific claim, as you would have to if you're trying to find Earth curvature, you would probably have to take that into account as well, and account for refraction, right? That's the old globe argument, isn't it? Did you account for refraction?
Reflection.
Yeah. See, we're not making hyper-specific claims when we do observations. We're saying, look, this laser is hitting the target at 40 kilometers away. It's 1.5 meters height to 1.5 meters height. Over that distance, there would have to be about 400 foot of curvature. It's nothing hyper-specific about that. It's so off, so far off what it should be on a globe.
I'm sorry, what were you saying? I was
It doesn't matter.
trying to
He's
figure out something because I got
Yeah.
muted.
Oh, I didn't mute you. You got muted?
Yeah, Yoder muted me because he thought you were talking to someone else, and apparently thought I was interrupting the conversation you were having.
You do sound a little bit like Matthew. Matt Mew.
You? Oh, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, the guy two people down, Matt Mew. We were talking to him, but he sounds similar to you. So
Yeah, so I was gonna tell you the numbers I got, and so the summit or the peak of the mountain I'm looking at is 6,512 feet above sea level. My height is 800 feet above sea level, and the distance between them is 40 miles. So that should be good enough curvature. That should be a lot of curvature, and just enough to see the tip drop down. And yeah, I just basically want to say that.
cool. Well, it's good that you're out there doing stuff. I mean, if you could find a body of water, that would be better. I mean, if you could just find like a 10-mile body of water or something like that, it's much easier that way.
A body of, oh, there's like, I mean, there is a lake near me, but it's like, it'd be a very long bike ride because I'm relying on my bike to get to these places.
Yeah. No.
But if I do this and I see predicted curvature, like, does that mean I could like call myself when you guys ask me how do I know there's a globe? Like I know NBO says that a lot. Would that be a sufficient answer?
Well, as long as you took all the variables into account correctly and then you repeat it to get consistent results.
And you get a Nobel Peace Prize, I believe.
And I think 3 Bitcoin and Professor Triangle is also throwing
10
in
grand.
$10,000 cash.
Oh shit! Yeah, I heard about the. I know someone else here said they would like write a book saying how like flat Earth was a giant cult if someone were to prove the Earth was a globe.
Yeah, that's me. I'm on that one. I've already got AI primed. It's ready to go. I just have to hit the enter key and say, go ahead, print that story.
Oh, you said you're gonna make millions off of that?
Yeah, if not more. Make a movie and all kinds of shit about Discord people, everything.
Wow.
But but at least the one good thing is you're not going to be able to measure curve, so you don't have to worry about me doing that shit because I don't have the energy for that.
Oh, don't worry. I will see that curve. It's the last thing I do.
Good luck.
I just wanted to make sure that was good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you find that curve, make sure you cash in the 3 Bitcoin Flat Earth Dave has out for that kind of evidence. Good luck.
Should start getting in good with McToon and all those guys. You're going to need it.
Mario.
Yeah.
How are you going to account for refraction?
Use a refraction calculator online.
Yeah. How is that going to measure the refraction?
What
are you going to put into the calculator?
The day I did it, and I don't really know how it works.
Yeah. Clearly. Oh, that's kind of funny. All right. Good luck.
Well, how would you measure refraction? Because obviously it's a real thing that happens. He suffers. What? I do not suffer from the Dunning-Kruger effects. The fuck even
The
is
question
that?
often is like, how much is there? Is it happening over a flat or curving surface? Different criteria in the environment must exist depending on that.
So with the refraction calculators, for example, okay, they don't ask you to put in information necessarily. What they're asking you to put in is how far could you see? Like what was the distance to the target? What was the height of the observer? And then it's going to say, well, on a globe, for that observation to work, there would have had to have been X amount of refraction, or a refraction coefficient of X amount. Okay, so do you know what reverse engineering is?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's just, it's like a reverse engineering calculator. So it's like you have no idea what was actually happening with the refraction. You just slide the slider until the observation works on a globe, and you say, oh, there was this much refraction on that day. If
Where was the refraction happening? Right in front of you, like 100 feet in front of you, or 1,000 feet in front of you? Or was it all the way, and which part was making it do goofy stuff?
Yeah, and if there's ducting going on, wouldn't that be reflection?
I didn't see any signs of refraction. I was able to see the mountain top clear as day.
What would a sign of refraction be?
Like that squiggliness you see in mirages.
That's astute, actually. I was about to say that.
So-
When there is a claim of refraction present, there has to be evidence for it. I don't know of any cases where refraction improves image fidelity.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't see any refraction.
Okay, so if we showed you an observation where we don't see any refraction by your standards, then that would debunk the globe then, right?
I'm trying to do my own measurements, but I can tell you kind of want to show me this, so go ahead. You can show me it. If is it like the 2 oil rigs? Is it the one over like the
No,
frozen lake?
there's no oil rigs. This is windmills.
Oh, I know the one you're talking about. I've seen that.
Okay, do you see the refraction in that one?
Looked pretty clear to me.
Yeah, super clear.
They didn't really give me any specifics though, like how far were the windmills. They just said it was
Okay.
too far for you to be able to see.
Yeah, here's some specifics. Okay, so here's a clip from the observation. Here's some specifics. We have a 3.5 foot eye height level, and we have an 11.2 mile windmill tower. And then we have on a globe, the horizon would have to be at 2.29 miles. Okay, and then anything beyond the horizon should start to become hidden behind the curvature of the Earth. Okay, so that would include the water beyond the horizon. So you shouldn't be able to see any water beyond 2.29 miles, which we can obviously see the water going way beyond the 11.2 mile windmill.
Interesting.
And then we don't see any sign of that horizon at 2.29 miles. And then we have the obscured object part, and that's 52 foot. 52 foot, that's kind of like a 5-story building. So the bottom 52 foot of the windmill, the one on the right, that should be hidden behind the horizon. So you should just be able to see part of that sticking up behind the horizon. But we can see the whole thing. We can actually see the base of it intersecting with the water as well. And then on top of that, he went back and did it on a different day. And he actually lowered the camera down to 2 foot the second time he did it. And he could see the exact same thing, which is all documented as well. On top of that, when he zooms in, you can actually see a boat off in the distance. And then he tracked that boat on shipping radar. That boat's called the Shetland Trader. And it's 12.1 nautical miles away, which is about 14 miles, 13.9 miles. So he looked up the height of that boat, and it's about 7 meters to 8 meters above, like from the surface of the water up to the top of the boat. Okay, so it should be completely hidden behind the horizon by about 28 meters or something like that. So you shouldn't even be able to see that at all. But once again, all of this stuff should be hidden behind that horizon. That should be at 2.29 miles away.
Yeah.
And this is something that would have to physically be there, because this is a physical horizon. It's a byproduct of Earth curvature.
Yeah, very interesting. I've been told a lot of things like this by people here, and then your like main server thingy. Although you all don't really, I would think that you guys would hold these like big chats in your main server, but
What did you say? Sorry.
I was just saying the observation's very interesting, and I've seen a lot like it from you guys.
Yeah. There's tons and tons of these. But I've never seen one in the last 8 years. I've never seen one that even close to matches up with a globe.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't exist. I mean, it's to be expected because there is no globe, but you're not there yet.
No, I'm trying to see for myself, see what I see.
Yeah,
You
that's
can't really
good,
lie to
man. You've got to
yourself.
be skeptical.
Hey, if I see curve, then there's curve. But according to you guys, that's impossible to see curvature.
You're not really seeing the curvature, though, are you? You're seeing what would be a byproduct of the curvature.
I guess so, but either way, though, it's still in.
What's the importance of you making sure that you can find the curve?
To see for myself. Like you say,
And what happens if you don't find it?
then the Earth's flat. Like it's as simple as that.
Yeah, but you said we were out of our minds or something before. Y'all, this and that. Remember? Are you going to be one of the y'alls then?
What? That sentence made zero sense to me.
Never mind.
All right.
It just seems like you're desperate to make that you have to be living on a globe because if the Earth is flat, everything's ruined for you for some reason. Is that true? Do you need space to be real? Did you plan on going to Mars or the moon or staying at a hotel somewhere out there in space?
Where are you getting all this information from? Are you trying to like rage bait me? Like I just said I wanted to see for myself. Like it's
No, I was just asking. It's not rage bait.
sounds like rage bait.
No, it doesn't. I'm trying to see how attached you are to the globe.
Right?
That's all.
Hello.
Hello.
Is there anyone else that can tell me what flat Earth is?
Yeah, it's the Earth that you live on.
You guys really believe that shit?
No, you don't need to believe it. You can check.
All right. I just wanted to learn that.
Okay, when we go out and test the Earth, there's no curvature present.
Okay, I just want to know that. Is there any person, even one person, that believes that Earth is flat?
Yeah, most of the people in this channel right now know that it's flat. They don't need to believe.
So there is no debate, just silence.
Well, there has been debates going on, but nobody was able to prove the globe. So now we're having a moment of silence for the globe. R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Yeah, rest in peace, globe Earth.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the thing. People just believe it's a globe. Okay, they think that someone at some stage, really smart, went out and tested that it's a globe, and it's been done tons of times. And then when you look into it, you'll be like, oh shit, actually I can't find anyone that did that. It's only been calculated.
I'm just want to learn that. Yes, there's lots of guys that believe that Earth is flat, especially in America.
Yep.
Wonder why?
Well, in lots of countries, actually, Brazil's one of the largest flat Earth countries.
In America, like Latin or South, North, I don't know. I think that life is in different dimensions when you go to the American continent.
Well, no, we have a huge mixture of people. I mean, you could check just about like the polls that have been done in just about any country, and you're going to find 10+% most of the time, according to the official polls. 10+%.
I guess it's not my country. I guess, but
Well, have you checked? Did you ask everybody?
yes, and like
Really, you go around you go around asking people
I'm
and
not
writing it down on a.
I'm not a country from that you guys usually heard.
I mean, okay. Are you from Egypt?
No,
Are you from? Wait, where are you from?
I'm from Turkey.
Oh, Turkey. Yeah, we have Turkish flat earthers.
Yeah, like it's a big
Yeah.
surprise, but I'm at university. Like I was very socially awkward, and I just a nerdy guy that's just curious about different things that even it's nonsense or meaningful. And when I started to socialize, I realized that nobody gives a fuck about these things, and it is hard to find people to debate or just to talk. That's why I'm here, and the flat earth is one of the most different and mind-blowing thing that I bumped into. And
The first flat earther I ever met was from Turkey.
I've never
Just by-
met a flat earther
Yeah,
before.
just by chance. Because I wasn't anti-flat Earth, but I was just curious, and I asked them, "Well, do you have an explanation for why they would lie?" And he went on to tell me this story that I had never heard before, that the government had built these apartment complexes, and they had used a shit ton of EU money. An ass load of EU money to build these like apartment complexes to modernize your urban areas and whatnot. Then a earthquake hit Turkey, and there was just unbelievable amount of devastation. Unbelievable, like
Yes.
everything, like all of it, just came down like literally like a house of cards. And they found out that all this money was being pocketed by government officials who were then replacing like concrete and building materials with bullshit. I mean, there were concrete walls that were packed with like newspaper and shit like that.
Yeah.
And then he said that once that happened, and that was like 2006 or so, I remember the exact year, but he said that was his pivotal moment where he realized that the West isn't your friend. These governments will always lie to you. Everything is about money. And the more money, more corruption. And he asked me, so now, you knowing this, because it probably was buried, people have to look it up to see what happened. He said, what would be your explanation for why NASA wouldn't lie? People at NASA wouldn't lie for upwards of $100 million every 72 hours, like every 3 days. $100 million is dropped in the coffers at NASA, and no one would keep their mouth shut for that level of money. And I didn't have an explanation. I really couldn't think of one thing. Because I already knew about some light scandals, like NASA taking photographs of Iraq. So I knew that NASA has been used politically in the past. And I couldn't come up with one single explanation that if your government officials will just straight up build buildings that they know that sooner or later an earthquake's going to happen, and people are going to be completely unprepared for the devastation, just the unthought destruction, that these buildings are not even anywhere near earthquake code. A light fart, a light breeze will have taken these buildings down, and they packed people in there anyway.
Yeah, but I wonder about something, and I'm so curious about it. There is some scientists, and you guys say that they are lying about that like the flat earth and these things. Why would they lie about?
Oh my God, we just went over that. We just answered that.
But even the ones
What about money? Do people lie for money? Do they lie for that?
Yeah, money, but
Okay.
there
So
are
Neil deGrasse Tyson wrote a book called Accessory to Murder or something along those lines. I can basically he describes that the majority of the people who get these jobs and rockets and weapons and what are basically working for weapons. They don't work in science. They're not boldly exploring space. They're like these like suborbital or low orbit satellites. Those weapons are pointing down. Those cameras are pointing down. It's a whole plot line for Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Mm.
They're not in it for the betterment of humanity.
So, but I meant a different thing, that what will happen to the scientists who have no stake in this?
Like who?
Like just a normal guy in
Yeah, like,
university,
can
a
you name one?
professor or something.
Can you pick one?
Yeah, no, I'm at university, and it was just a topic that our professor just meant for a few minutes, and he just mocked the flat earthers, and they
Yeah,
and
it's
he said
interesting.
and he said
Just
that
mocked flat earthers. For what purpose?
like it was a lesson. Sorry guys for my English, but I'm struggling. It was just like a thing that, like, sometimes the teachers are, talking with the students or something. And once in a time, I remember that the topic was a scientific thing about Earth and geography or something. And just a few minutes, we talked about flat earthers. And I didn't know anything about flat Earth, and I didn't heard it before. I'm 18 years old, by the way. I got curious about it, and I just wanted to research. Like, I write in ChatGPT, Gemini or something, and I watched a few YouTube videos, and I came here, but I can't understand why Earth will be flat. Like, I mean, the sun. You mean in Japan right now? It's time is different, but if the Earth is flat, and is there like a light or something, wouldn't be like shined everywhere or something? And there's big mountains and like Burj Khalifa or something, the big buildings or something. Like, if Earth was flat, why we cannot see them? And these type of questions probably you heard hundreds of times, probably, but I'm just curious about it. Well, why would Earth be flat? Why Earth is flat, and why people are lying except for the money? If they are not taking advantage of them, why would they say that Earth is not flat?
Yeah, I can answer all those questions really quickly if you want. I think most people aren't lying. Most people just believe the Earth's a globe because that's what they were taught at university and growing up through their life, and they probably never questioned it or tested it. They just took it as a given. Okay, why can't we see forever? Because the atmosphere is opaque over distance. It's not completely transparent. And if you check the weather report, it's going to give you a visibility rating. Because we have dust and pollution and mist and fog and all sorts of things in the air, it has it absorbs light, essentially. Okay, so as the light travels through the medium of the air, the atmosphere, it becomes extinct over distance. Technically, the maximum distance under perfect conditions, which never exist, right? But under perfect conditions, if you didn't have any fog or dust or anything like that, you could see about 300 miles or 400 kilometers through the medium of air. So that's why we can't see forever, because it's just not possible. And the other one was to do with how come it could be like daytime in one part of the Earth and nighttime in another part at the same time if it's flat. Well, we don't claim that the Earth is a flat disk in space with a 93 million mile away sun that's many times larger than the size of the Earth. If the sun is smaller and more localized, and it moves over the surface of the Earth like we see it do in the sky, then the light cannot push forever through the medium. It kind of ties into the previous answer.
Yeah, like, I guess so, right? Like, I don't know, man. Like, they also the anti-earthers, or just the globers, I don't know how you call them. says that they have proven that the Earth is globe, and they say that flat earthers didn't test it, or they have no even a test, a real scientific one, and it was proven lots of times that it's globe and it's not flat or something. I can't choose which one to believe.
Well, what you should do is put on your critical thinking cap and look at the evidence from both sides and then weigh up which evidence is more substantial. Okay, because we could sit here and present observation after observation after observation for the next 20 hours straight, right? And then when I ask any globe earther to present one that validates the Earth's a globe, they're not going to be able to, because there aren't any. It's just something that people are telling you, but actually it's the opposite. It's kind of, it would be called projection in a way. They're projecting. They're saying the opposite of what's true. Really, they're talking about themselves, unfortunately. Maybe they're just in denial. I'm not sure.
Like,
one way you can test it too is to say no thank you. Like somebody's trying to sell you something. They're trying to like say someone's trying to sell you flat earth, they're trying to sell you globe earth. Say I'm gonna walk away. No thank you. And watch what they do next. The flat earther would be like, all right, well, you're lost, buddy. Because you're gonna come to that conclusion eventually anyway, so you don't need anything from me at this point. The globe earther will then turn on the hard sell. Start mocking you. Try to find out where you work. Like all kinds of crazy shit. They will literally lose their ever loving mind if you tell them no. No, thank you.
isn't there any possibility of that they are just maybe they know in the truth and don't give a fuck about this, or they just don't want to suffer of telling you the truth, or what? Maybe you guys can do the same thing to the globe earthers. Maybe there can be a worthwhile debate or something, because I don't find any mass of a thing that debate or kind of thing between flat earthers and globe earthers. They're just speaking without debating, and they are not showing anything. At least maybe I couldn't find it. Maybe. At least in the internet.
Yeah, you guys. Think about this. For them to debate, they'd have to have a claim. Do they have any claim on the table? Even you'd be like, "Hey, what's your claim?" They'd be not flat. What the hell's a not flat? What type of claim is that?
Yeah,
How about
maybe,
what is it? Is it curved? What's the rate of curvature?
maybe
They don't
that's
know.
because,
They don't know what it is, so they can't claim it.
maybe that's because they are not the scientists. Maybe it will be a great thing. A globe earther scientists have it as its own thing, like a geography or astrologist or something. I don't know how to tell in English. And with debate with flat earther, but all I can see from internet is non-scientists, just a normal random guys are speaking and debating about this, and there is nothing much than that.
Yeah, my theory on that is that we just saw it not too long ago. We got kind of a mini raid from this group of people. They started talking about that they were going to expose flat earthers because we've committed crimes, like literal crimes against humanity, like terrorism. So you're like, huh, really? You think that's what's going on here? Like, so if the Earth is a globe and flat earthers disagree with that, or really to show proof of it to begin with, no, they won't do that. What they will do is try to find some way to use the force of government in the courtrooms to prosecute you for crimes against humanity. Does that make sense to you? Does that sounds like somebody who proves it's not flat? Their next step would be to weaponize the court. And what's interesting too is like the guy was a bunch of atheists who did this, by the way. I go, don't you know in courtrooms they have the 10 Commandments? Like the police who call will have "In God We Trust" on their police cars. You don't see a problem there? And they're like, no.
We know that I'm on your father. Earth is curved.
See, look, as we're talking right now, the dude just started bombing my DMs. You need medical help. I'm reporting you for what you just said. You're spreading lies. Like I didn't even say his name, but they're always listening.
What if you're
Look,
not right? What if you're wrong?
Look at right there. Everyone knows this guy. Look at, they're always listening. I'm telling you, they're always listening.
Yes.
Just in real time, you know, like it's like you just say like, hey, look at these deranged crackhead freaks who are completely spazzing out. I don't mention his name. Don't say who they are. Just be like, hey, just trying to avoid the drama, and they'll just start blowing your DMs up.
Like the rude people make rude things. You don't have to.
Now use that to predict what group of people would do such a thing. Somebody trying to sell you some bullshit or not?
Yeah, that's right. So, is there any relation, a flat Earth thing, with religions?
No, it's a completely separate issue. If you wanted to go the religion route, you could start with Copernicus. You know, why did Copernicus call the book he wrote about heliocentric the heavenly bodies? Why did Newton invoke God of the Bible that is the cause of gravity? You know, why do the astronauts pray before they go on the launch? Why did they put a Bible on the moon? Why did the last director, Bill Nelson, come out of retirement? They said, hey, why are you coming out of retirement? He's like, well, God of the Bible told me that I am the special person to lead NASA back to the moon because I was both a statesman and an astronaut. I can thread the needle to return to make America great again and return America back to the moon. Even more than that, you got at the time when they went to the moon, Richard Nixon said that God picked America to win the space race because God told him that God loves capitalism. So, no one here in Flat Earth is going to start telling you that they've personally spoken to a sky daddy who told them the Earth is flat. No one's going to say that. What you will see on the globe side is back-to-back theological claims. A couple of years ago, an astronaut wrote a book about finding space Jesus. Mm-hmm. There's something interesting with that. 100% of the American astronaut corps is right-wing Christian conservatives. 100%. So I would say if you really want a theology discussion resolving this topic, ask the astronauts, why are you so deeply religious? They'll tell you, by the way, they have an answer. It's called the right stuff. You have to have the right stuff to be an astronaut. And step one, are you a religious conservative? If not, you're already done. You will never be an astronaut. Your goose is cooked.
And I saw that there is some people, very religious Christians, Catholic, Orthodox, doesn't matter, that claim that flat Earth comes from the Bible and it's not contradicting with it.
Who would say that? Who would tell you that flat Earth comes from the Bible?
Like, I just heard it and I saw it, like, I guess, like, some globe earthers also says that Bible say not that the flat Earth is the truth, and also flat earthers says that there is a thing in the Bible that says that Earth is flat. I didn't read Bible.
Yeah, what I
English,
think you're misunderstanding is there are some flat earthers who use extra Bibles. They're called the Apocryphon. And one of these books is called the Book of Enoch. And in the Book of Enoch, it describes some things that could be interpreted as a flat stationary Earth. The days of creation in Genesis, they could be described as a flat stationary Earth in different interpretations. So like you had day and night before the sun was created type of thing. So what you're looking at here is not that people are using the Bible. They're saying, hey, look, the earth is observably flat, measurably flat, practically used as flat. And oh, by the way, the holy book that Western culture is built on describes the flat earth too.
Yeah, if flat Earth is the truth, then there is no solar system, right?
Yeah, there's definitely no solar system.
So, so there is no stars, but
There's stars. Yeah, like you could say this is their thing going back to the firmament. They'll be like, hey, flat earthers, why do you use the word firmament? No, maybe rakia. The word firmament comes from Copernicus. He said there was a glass sphere right outside of Saturn. And on this glass sphere, the stars were printed on or embedded in or something like that.
So but the stars outside of Earth and the planets are globe, but the Earth is flat.
How do you know that? Where did that come from?
Like I wonder your perspective, because I already know the globe, like the mostly believed one. I wonder why, like, what flat earthers believe, what space looks like.
It does the same thing. Just look up. What do you see? That's what I see. Exactly the same sky you do. I just don't go one step further and start talking about outer space, invisible forces, dark and light forces, battling for the supremacy of matter against time and space, gravity wells. I don't go into all that sort of stuff. I just say, hey, there it is. The stars move cyclically throughout the year, like a clock, depicting the seasons. The moon moves in a cyclical nature across the sky, depicting the month. And the sun moves across the sky as a clock for the daytime. So you've got, it's like a clock, an ever moving clock. And this is in direct contradiction with what the globe says. If you're heliocentric, you've got things moving all kinds of different directions.
So there's some things that globe earthers believe, some truth things according to flat earthers.
No, we're
not
talking
all
about
wrong.
the surface of the Earth. I think you misunderstood. The sky stuff. Yeah, don't use divination. Don't go into divination. Divination would be looking up at the sky and saying that ball of light, which you think might be a ball, which is really just a circle. That circle of light just told me something. Like, well, certainly. What did it tell you? It told me to buy a lottery ticket, that today's my lucky day. I'm going to meet my true love tonight. And the earth is a giant lava ball, a water-covered lava ball in the vacuum of space, spinning on an axial rotation around a giant ball of fire inside the vacuum. You're like, whoa, holy shit. Those were some weird things you just said there. And oh yeah, those were hallucinations, which we used to call divination, divining earthly world knowledge based on the sky.
Are
And
flat
you're
Earth
just like rational, right? You're like a rational, logical person.
Well, I hope so. Is that what's going to win the day at the end? What do you think should win the day? Psychopathic levels of deranged violence or rationality? What could be the better way to go?
I think it's reason and logic.
Yeah, that'd be the way to go.
Right.
So if you disagree with me, no problem.
No, I agree.
Can I ask something?
Yeah, dude, ask away. Yeah, definitely. I want to
Is
steal the stage here. Does anyone else want to field some questions too?
is flat Earth contradict with theory of relativity?
What is the theory of relativity? Is that where you marry your cousin and it's relative?
No.
Your marriage is relative?
No, the theory that came from Albert Einstein.
Oh, that you can tell what reference frame you're in? So, yeah, in the theory of relativity, he explains why the Earth appears motionless. It's a cope. It says it's not, it appears, it measures motionless, it appears motionless, but it's not because all things are relative to your observer point. So I would say no, it's not contradictory. What he did was he tried to explain why, despite all the evidence, the Earth is still moving anyway, because it's not. You can tell it's moving because it's not moving.
And so where did he go wrong?
Who?
Einstein.
With what? Would go wrong with what? With marrying his cousin? That I said that was probably wearing women's clothing.
No.
I would say putting on women's clothing and marrying your cousin is two big wrongs.
No, but like his scientific theories, like the theory of relativity, the general and special theory of relativity. Like what's wrong?
Well, yeah, you could. Well, if you want to look that up, they've talked about stories that scientists have said, like current rhetoric is that he was wrong, like it dead wrong, like so wrong, they're not even sure where to start. This sort of like quantum entanglement. Einstein originally shit talked Newton by saying Newton's gravity was spooky action at a distance.
So you're like pretty well read on Einstein.
Well, I mean, same as everyone else. I mean, whatever was covered in basic.
Well, it sounds like you know a lot about him. Like,
well, yeah, I mean, the same stuff that everyone learned about.
So, like,
general relativity is not like pretty. I mean, that's not like common knowledge. That's like a.
Yeah, that's really like you go to any high school, they're going to go over Einstein. Everyone knows who this guy is. It's not some obscure like Tesla. They kind of erased from the history books. So someone would be like, "Oh, hey, you got a bunch of knowledge about Tesla." They'd be like, "Huh? Einstein and Edison."
Right. What are your opinions on someone like Ludwig Boltzmann?
Yeah, I'm not familiar.
Oh, okay.
So you're
guys, where are you?
ABB.
Can you please, like, can I mean, so you're telling me that you're better than Einstein and you know better than Einstein?
No, I did that. If you heard that, I would call that a delusional state. You hallucinated. It's like talking to an AI at this point, where it just randomly gets hallucinated what you think you wrote. That's why we record this. Like, how about this? Go back, listen to the live stream, and go clip where I said that.
So what did Einstein or the other guy that was just mentioned do to validate that the Earth is a globe? What empirical testing was done by either of those two?
From what I can see, scientists claim that they have instead of flat. Here.
I can't understand your language.
Matthew, that was kind of incoherent.
Hey, Crit, can I ask you a question since you're kind of taking the lead here?
Yeah, I mean it's a whole panel. I mean anyone can jump in at any time. It's not just the crit hour.
I did just ask a question, but that's okay. I know I can answer it as well. Okay, they didn't do anything to validate that the Earth's a globe.
Okay.
We can move forward now.
Do you have opinions about Anton Lavoisier, for example, or do you?
What did he do?
I'm just asking what did he do? You're not familiar with him?
No, I'm asking you. No, I'm not. I've never heard of it. I've never heard of him. So what did he do to validate the Earth being a globe?
Never mind.
Yeah. So what did he do? What did he do to validate? Why are you bringing him up in a flat Earth channel?
He was a chemist, but he discovered oxygen.
Discovered oxygen.
Yeah,
before that, people didn't breathe.
No, they did, but
like the thing that you observe chemistry in it, it's not a thing that. Oh, okay, go on.
I mean, the notion of oxygen wasn't like always around. I don't know if you guys are unaware of this, but you're
no, they did. Even back when they had chemistry or alchemy, they had the air.
Well, they had air like around them,
oxygen,
but they didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't have the notion of oxygen.
Yeah, they called it the elemental air.
No, not air.
Right.
If oxygen wasn't discovered, it wouldn't be like scuba diving things.
The fuck?
Right. It was an important discovery. That's why we remember him and study him in chemistry.
Okay. And what's this got to do with the room topic?
Well, it's about science, which is kind of just, I think we're all trying to get at a more scientific understanding of the world, not based on, hearsay and delusions.
Okay, so yeah, what we're trying to do is talk about the actual Earth. Okay, so we're talking about a geometric question right now, not necessarily a cause and effect relationship question. Okay, so it would be a category error, and I think what you're doing is you're just trying to throw out people that you think we might not have heard of, and be like, oh, I've read it up on this guy who discovered oxygen. You guys haven't, so therefore the Earth must be a globe. Like, I really don't get your logic here.
I didn't say that.
Well, I mean, do you have any evidence that the Earth is a globe? I mean, what do you?
No,
there's literally tons of empirical evidence, but
okay, like what? Like what?
But we are expecting you to know these scientific guys because you're claiming.
You're the one that's making the claim. So we expect that you might know something about science.
And the thing that you're claiming is too big, and so you have to get more knowledge than us to answer it properly.
Well, you guys don't sound like you have any knowledge on when it comes to the globe. You have to bring up something completely unrelated to what we're talking about, right? You don't have any globe evidence. I mean, I could ask you guys some basic questions, and you probably don't know the basics of the globe. Like, what's the radius value, guys? What is it?
No, we're not.
Do you know it? No, none
like
of you are going to say it.
Something.
It is
completely wrong, right? Like, not even close. Not even close. The other guy doesn't know it either. Okay. How fast does the Earth spin at the equator? Okay, it's 3959 miles or 6,371 kilometers.
Right, but you only know that stuff because you're like a flat Earth guy.
Yeah, because I study this topic. I've studied it for 8 years, and I know all of the arguments, and I know all about the globe because I've studied that as well.
What kind of ontology do you have?
Yeah, you've asked this question before, Mark.
And do you have an ontology or no?
What does that? Is it going to make the water curve, whether I do or don't?
It would say something
You're
about
ban evading, by the way. I should just perma-ban you right now for ban evading.
How am I ban evading?
Because I banned you, right? And now you're back again. I perma-banned you on 2 different accounts, and now you're back again, asking the same stupid questions.
Okay, questions that you don't have an answer to. You don't know what ontology is because you're not a scientist, because you don't know anything about science.
That's your only game, though, is it? That's your only game. You try to say a word.
Just to ask questions about your methodology and to expose that you have none.
Yeah, I do have methodology. We can test the.
No, you don't. You don't have a methodology. Otherwise, you would have an ontology. You would have an epistemology, but you don't.
You're a spiraling soy boy. You
Guys,
come in with the same tactic every single
guys,
time.
Okay, that's
just
not an
calm
argument.
down.
I don't care about this anymore.
You don't have an argument. Yeah, run away, soy boy.
DJ, can I ask something? You guys ban people that disagree with you.
No, we don't ban people that disagree. We ban people that come in bad faith and don't have genuine conversations. They don't try to present any evidence.
But
They don't talk about the topic that we're
but
talking
it
about
is
right now.
it is what it is.
We
This
are
is
talking
what,
about
Yeah.
the topic.
but this is what Discord is for. What do you mean?
No, we're talking. Okay, look, you're in our channel right now. Okay, you need to come here, be respectful, have a normal conversation. Don't come here and troll and try to catch people out on terminologies that have nothing to do with the actual topic.
That you don't know about, that you don't know anything about.
What does my ontology have to do with the testing?
Do you know
the
what
empirical...
ontology is?
No, I don't know much about that. Can you tell me
Oh,
about
okay.
it?
So
Tell
you
me
don't-
about it,
you-
and tell
so
me how it
anything
makes.
outside of your like
How
worldview,
does it
you
help
don't-
How does it help the Earth? How's it going to make the water curve?
DJ,
Mark?
you studied 8 years flat Earth and you don't know what ontology is.
I don't know much about it, and I know it doesn't really matter to whether the
If you
water
don't
is
know
curving or
much
not.
about it, then how do you know it doesn't relate to science
Okay,
and the shape
well, I'm
of the
asking
Earth?
you. I'm asking you to explain it to me right now. Go ahead. Tell me how it makes the Earth a globe.
I've had enough, guys. Fuck these flat
Yeah.
earthers.
Yeah, bro. You
Yeah,
got
fuck the
0
flat
globe
Earth.
proof. Run away, bitch. So you guys are pathetic. 0 globe evidence provided. Just coping soy boys. That's all we get in here. Feelings and fallacies. Every day. 0 empirical evidence.
Yeah, I mean, I knew he was. I didn't say I knew. I was pretty much when he's like, I'm a proud Turkish man, and no proud, Scotsman like me, no true Scotsman would think the Earth is a flat. I go, well, that's interesting because, oddly enough, just by random coincidence, the very first flat earther I ever talked to was from Turkey. Was a Turkish. And he answered the question. I asked him, why would they lie? And then right after me telling this story, his first question was, why would they lie? Okay, so what's next?
Can you guys post a flat Earth map?
Oh, you came back, did you?
Yep.
Post a globe Earth map. We don't have a map. Do you have a map?
You don't have a map. Okay, cool. Thank you. I don't care.
Do you have one?
We have many maps. Yeah.
Okay,
Here,
post it and tell me how it was made.
I know who has a flat Earth map. Here, I got 3 sources for you.
I mean, the burden of proof is on you. You're the one claiming that the Earth is flat.
Okay,
Yeah.
here, how about this? I got 3 sources. I'll start with NASA. Would this be a flat Earth map that you'd be looking for?
A flat Earth map? We wrapped the flat map around the ball. Yeah, dude, that actually proves the Earth is flat. Are you, like, literally retarded?
No, is this
No, I
what?
think
So
you are,
a
bro.
flat map? Are you looking for a flat map? Yes or no? A full Earth flat map.
I think you might legit be room
Okay,
temperature IQ.
that's fine. You can think all you want. Now, are you looking for a full Earth flat map?
I'm looking for a map that you have created
Why
using the
me?
principles
Why
of
does it gotta be-
cartography.
You said I'm retarded. You wouldn't ask for that then. So you contradicted. You are not a rational thinker. You are irrational, illogical thinker. See, I know you are retarded, so I would know not to ask you for a map. You
Okay,
don't
what
have
kind of
one.
epistemology are you using?
Yeah, the same answer as before. Are you looking for a map or not?
Okay, you don't have one. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, so you broke your logic again.
You-
Right here. So this one right here, would this work? I got more. This is just one. Does this work for a flat map?
Please post a
Just say
map
yes-
that you've created
Just
of the
say yes
flat
or
Earth.
no. Just say yes or no. So NASA used a low orbit, suborbital, and took a snapshot of the Earth. Would this count as a flat map?
I don't know. Would you count as having a learning disability?
All right.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter about me.
He's,
Okay,
he's going.
Oh, what? You can't handle the heat? What happened to the marketplace of
Yeah.
ideas?
All right. Bye-bye.
Post them for the other people here. This is the next one. You got Library of Congress. They have a flat map. And then here you've got the Department of Defense. So if you want a flat map, go to the people who said they have them or who have made them. You got the Library of Congress, Department of Defense, and NASSholes. That's where you can find these maps. It would take millions of man hours, like ungodly amount of money to map out the whole Earth. So go to the people with that resource, that level of resource.